guys, and welcome back to a reading vlog, I guess, for a cozy vlog in my house. I of course have my cabinet open because, well, I guess I always do. But I thought it would be fun to bring you guys along for a couple days into my life, what I do. It is currently a Wednesday. I just got back from the gym and I washed my hair. I want to show you guys all the books I plan to be reading for the next couple days. So let's go into my office and check those out. But I do want to finish here this Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. And honestly, I am loving this book so far. I think I'm a little bit more than halfway through the book, but it's just like, I can't put it down. I can't, and I have to put it down because, you know, life gets in the way and there's commitments and stuff. But like, look at this beautiful cover too. I like just love a simple book cover. So I am currently in chapter 19, which is around the 460 page mark, and the book is 800 and something pages. But really want to finish this book. And then another book that I might want to read is Apprentice to the Villain. I read the first one and I wouldn't say it was like the best book I was reading. I kind of got bored through it. There were some sections where the spy in the first book, I'm not gonna obviously give who the spy in the first book is, but I definitely was like, oh, that's kind of weird. That would rub me the wrong way. But I never like thought about it in any other way than that is weird, and just moved on because it was like one single incident. But I love the purple in the book and I'm just excited to read that. And then the last book that I'm hoping to get around to, maybe not in this reading vlog, but in another one, it is Poison Study. And this is actually going to be a reread for me. I read Poison Studies about 5 to 6 years ago and I remember enjoying it. And then about 6 months ago, I saw a video where someone was rereading Poison Studies and they were loving it. So I'm like, oh, I need to reread Poison Studies. And honestly, these covers are beautiful. I got the first 3 and I'm just gonna read the first one, see if it's what I remember it was, if it still holds up, because I believe when I first read it, I must have given it like a 4 or 5 stars. So excited to deep into that. But enough rambling, let's go make some muffins. So I finished the muffins and I hope they taste good, but so far they look pretty good. Also, I did my dishes and that is the dishwasher that's running, and I just got these cute little flowers in. Well, Brian brought me these flowers and they're so cute. I like to divide the flowers into little corners, so I have one here. Currently Saturday and I wanted to show you guys where I am in Mad Ship because, as I mentioned, I was reading the book and I am right about here, which is right about the 80% mark. I would say 84%. I'm gonna make myself like a latte. Let's do that. So I also have some errands to run, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to like finish the whole book. I'm really struggling here, guys. So I don't even have a cup set. I was about to store my coffee without a cup. Are you ready to go plan shopping?
Yay!
It's the next day. I started a new book that I'm gonna talk to you all when we get back. It's like a fun, cozy fantasy book, so excited to read it. I feel like I can finish this book pretty quickly because, I mean, it's a second in a series and I finished the first one pretty quick as well. I think it took me like 2 days, but like less than 24 hours sort of thing. And now we're gonna go to the plant store and other places as well. Should we go to the plant store last? Well, we should go plant store, then groceries, then home. Or like before, if we want to go somewhere, then plant store, then groceries. Yeah, so let's go. see your plant? Which do you think is better?
Mine, obviously. Do you have a name?
No. Selena.
You've had like 3 Selenas.
But this is 3.0 Selena. This is a better Selena. She'll live. Okay, so it's officially the end of the vlog. It's actually been quite a few days, but I wanted to sit down and talk to you all about the books that I managed to read during this vlog. So the first book that I completed for this vlog was Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, and honestly, Robin Hobb has really ruined me, I believe, for other books, and I'm gonna talk more in depth on that in a bit. But Robin Hobb has really just expanded this world. I'm gonna be completely honest, the first trilogy to The Elder Rings, which is the Fraser trilogy, was kind of boring, I would say, at the beginning. Second book in that trilogy, like the pace moved on faster, but it was still kind of boring to me. But nonetheless, I could appreciate the world building in that world. But when it came to Ship of Magic, I felt like she just expanded on everything. It was so gripping for the very beginning, so much that I honestly have been unable to stop thinking about this book, and unable to stop thinking about the next book in the series, which I will be picking up today, so don't you worry. But as the title implies, of course, there is boats in this series, which at first when I started reading it, I was a little apprehensive because, you know, I did not want to hear about all the ships. I felt like being on a ship can get sort of boring at most time because there's only so much you can do when you're stuck on a ship. But honestly, I was so wrong because I fell in love with this book. I have so much deep connection to the characters, and I think that's something that Robin Hobb does very well, which is make you connected with the characters to the point where I feel like I'm gonna cry. I honestly feel like I'm gonna cry even talking about the characters because I am fearful for them. I am scared to continue the series on because I don't know what's gonna happen to them, and I'm just emotional. This book is very emotional. It's very hard, but there are some fun moments throughout the book that kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But in this book, there are life ships, which are wooden ships that are made from a specific material that after a certain event, they become alive. So that's kind of the form of magic we have in this book. And one of our main characters, Althea, has always been told that she's going to inherit the family ship, that she's going to command the ship, or at least that's what she believes. And due to some unforeseen events, unfortunately, that is not her destiny. And then she goes on a quest to prove herself to be a capable sailor. But unfortunately, you know, she was a sailor on her dad's boat, which comes with privilege. And she learns the hard way that she's a good sailor, but not specifically, you know, the best. And she just learns a lot in this book. And then we also follow a variety of our characters, such as Kenneth, who is a pirate who unfortunately does a lot of bad things, but good things come out of it. And I swear he's just like the luckiest character in this damn book. And we also follow Winter, who's inside the Vivacia. He unfortunately is forced to be there. He wanted to be a priest, but his dreams get taken away from him when his father, who is this macho male, men should rule, women should stay home and look pretty sort of guy, forces his son on the Vivacia, which is the family ship that should have belonged to Althea, but again, it's not hers at the very moment. There are just so many things I feel with the characters, and Winter does some stuff and I'm just like, why? It doesn't make sense. But then I kind of remember that this poor kid is only 14 years old and he's been forced on a ship, you know. And then we have his sister Malta, who's basically spoiled rotten, but like her chapters in the book are a nice break from all the hardship that's going on, because she is just a teenager back in land living her life and not being able to understand what her family's going through. So it's a nice distraction from the main plot. But like I said, I'm excited to continue with this book. I am definitely liking it a lot more than I even liked the first Assassin's book. So excited, so excited for this, and I can't stop thinking about it. And I am gonna move on, because if I think about it, I start to tear up and almost cry. So the second book I read was Apprentice to the Villain, and honestly I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars, and I feel like I'm being generous with the book. I'm also feeling I'm being quite harsh with the book because it is not fair for me to read this book after I finish Ship of Magic. But with that being said, I will say that I believe if I listen to the audiobook I might enjoy it a lot more than just reading it, because the writing style felt a little bit fast, I guess. I don't know, it's sort of weird coming from a book that's very slow paced to a book where you expect something to take the entire book, but it happens within the first 20 pages. But this is actually the second book in the what's the first one called, Assistant to the Villain, which I also gave a 3-star, and I think there's a third one coming out which I might pick up. I think I'm gonna pick it up in audiobook because honestly this was a struggle bus for me. This took about 3.5 days to read, and there's not even that many pages. It's 337 pages on this book, and yeah, it took for me it felt like it took a while to read this book, and I think that was just a mistake on my part. Maybe I should have given myself more time to, like, you know, deal with the emotional strain, I guess, of Ship of Magic. But nonetheless, I still had a great time reading this book. I find the characters to be very enduring, and it's just a very fun, cozy story to read. In the first one, we follow Evie Sage, who is just a random girl from a village who wanders off into the woods and meets the villain. And they both strike an unlikely friendship to the point where Evie begins to work for the villain, and it is just a comedic relief of this happy-go-lucky girl working for this quote-unquote evil guy who we all know is not that evil at the end of the day. I will say I enjoyed the second one more than the first one, but it did take longer to read the second one, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. So that's actually all the books I read for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know. I will continue to do reading vlogs. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!